State Representative Melanie Miller and State Tourism Director Sarah Wickham. Thank you both for joining me on Message from the House.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
I feel like it's so fitting to wrap up the summer talking about Ohio tourism and all the fun, beautiful things that make us who we are. So I appreciate having you both on.
It's our favorite topic.
I know.
There's so much to celebrate about what makes Ohio the heart of it all.
Absolutely.
Right, Sarah?
Yes.
Very excited to join you on today's show.
Real quick, this summer, did you get to capitalize on any of the amazing attractions that we have in the state? Anything fun with your family, Rep Miller?
Yes, we love the water. So we spent a lot of time at the lake. And this year I got to show a pig at the Ohio State Fair, which was new to me and was a lot of fun. And you think about agriculture being our number one industry in the state. It was really neat to be able to showcase that part of Ohio as well. And maybe I'll be invited again. We'll see.
That's amazing, Director Wickham, or you told me to call you Sarah. How about you?
Yeah, I was at the fair too. It's always a great time. I love both the state fair and all of our county fairs. You really get to see the heart of our communities when you're out at those county fairs. So we did some of that. I have a son who's 8, so we spend a lot of time outdoors at our state parks. And then we also got to go up to a Guardians game, which is always so fun, great for families. They have an entire family deck that my son just really loves. So a good time in Cleveland as well. Always a good time.
Amazing. The Columbus Clippers, they had a Harry Potter night last week.
We were at Marvel Night at the Clippers. Also, I forgot about that. That was early in the season, but those theme nights are so fun. People really get into it.
I know. Such a good idea. I love Ohio. I was living in the South, which is a hard, sell to come back here with weather, but I just absolutely adore Ohio. So I'm excited to talk about this topic.
We're glad you're back.
As well. Thank you. Yes.
We want to get people to come back.
I know.
Hopefully this episode will encourage people to come back.
Oh, I hope so. I love Ohio. Representative Miller, you are the chair of the House Arts, Athletics, and Tourism Committee. Yes. So in this role so far, what has stood out to you the most about Ohio's tourism landscape?
I appreciate the question. And this is a brand new committee.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, we work on a lot of really tough policy issues in the legislature, but this is a fun one.
Yeah.
And what I love about our Arts, Athletics, and Tourism Committee is really the sky's the limit. Being a new committee, we really are tasked with really highlighting what makes Ohio the heart of it all. I think one of the things that has really stood out to me early on and really trying to be a champion for supporting funding for our tourism department is, I think this is really key, and I did bring this so I would have the stats correct. 67% of people relocating visited their new communities first as a leisure traveler. So when people visit our state, it inspires people to relocate. So when I think about that, it costs dollars to advertise what our incredible state has to offer. And our incredible director next to me has been working on limited resources for a very, very long time. In fact, a cut budget, and it has kind of stayed the same. And Ohio has been outpaced and outspent compared to the surrounding states in the United States. So Ohio has been at $7.5 million each fiscal year for a couple of years now. And I'm very grateful with the great work that our testimonies, the director, and others have come in and explained why this is so important to invest at a higher level in our state. We were able to convince our colleagues to increase that to $11 million each fiscal year in the state operating budget. So I'm really hoping that we can be a little bit more competitive with the region in our neighboring states. So right now we're being outspent over $25 million compared to the states around us. Some states are investing at over $30 million, $20 million, and 7.5 doesn't go very far. So we're excited to see with that increase who we're going to be able to reach. And again, if people can come visit and see what we have to offer, maybe people will relocate and live here, work here, raise their family here, and that means more jobs. We want to continue to look at the pipeline here in our state as we continue to have growth. People keep leaving. We want people to come back, just like you, Olivia.
Yes.
I'm so glad you came back.
I know. I can come work. I mean, I could pitch this. The sports. I mean, who wouldn't want to be a part of a national championship winning fan base? I mean, my friends in Georgia were so sick of hearing me talk about how great Columbus, Ohio was. Director Wickham, I think that is amazing thing to highlight really quick is that extra money that you all will now get to work with. How does that directly impact tourism and growing that in the state?
Yeah, absolutely. And we are so appreciative to Representative Miller and the committee and all of the General Assembly that supported our work. And it really does allow us to share our message a little further. We know that the sweet spot for advertising is like 3 to 5 hours. People are willing to drive about 3 to 5 hours. And so we're expanding into some new markets, but we're also bringing that message home. It does start with a visit. We know that people relocating here, it starts with a visit. And with 11.7-ish million Ohioans, there are a lot of people visiting their friends and family. And so returning to marketing in state is also really important. When people are here, we want them to get out and do things, get off the couch, go do some things with your family. 1 in 4 visitors to our state that visit friends and family don't do anything while they're here. And so it's really important that we are reaching Ohioans and reminding them to get out and explore. So those extra dollars are really just helping us to tell the story a little more, and we're going to use them wisely.
That leads me into the next question that I have for you is explain what Ohio tourism means. I think it's a no-brainer when you think about the South. You have the beach, you have, and the mountains over there in the West. Ohio's tourism landscape, what does that include?
Yeah. So for me, there's a very specific definition of like what a visitor is when we do our research. But ultimately, tourism is about individuals, businesses, and communities, right? So it's the people that are visiting Ohio and the people that are welcoming them, and the businesses that are thriving as a result of all of these visitors making a trip here. It's restaurants, it's theaters, it's attractions, it is hotels, it's all of that. It's retail. It's the people that work in those businesses that are thriving. There are more than 400,000 people in Ohio work in the tourism industry. So it's the individuals, it's the businesses, and then the communities. Some of our communities, like think about up on the lake, those communities are driven by the travel economy. And so it's really important that we think sort of about all three. And when we focus on tourism, we think about it holistically.
That's good. I would just even add to that. I think the director, Sarah, did a nice job of highlighting that landscape, but I also think tourism equals it's an economic driver for communities, and that's really important. So all of the items that Sarah listed, I want to echo that. That's exactly right. So it's bringing money back into our own local economies. And quite honestly, Ohio has so many really exciting things to highlight. When we look at some of our local attractions throughout the state are rated number 1 across the country, from our zoos to our theaters, our orchestras, and so much more. And quite honestly, it's affordable for people to come to Ohio. As we mentioned, being able to drive, that 3 to 5 hour time period, it's very affordable to come here. And hopefully people love the 4 seasons too. Ohio, right. We have, you have your rural makeup, you have your inner city, you have your urban area, you have the lake, we have beautiful fall, beautiful winter. There's so many things to explore in our beautiful state.
You can have a totally different trip to Ohio depending on the season.
That's true.
Yeah,
you really can. And then Representative Miller, from a policy perspective, what are some things that you all have been working on already, will be continuing to work on this fall to support Ohio's tourism industry?
That's a wonderful question. Well, one of the things we are being tasked with, preparing for America's 250th birthday, and we want Ohio to have an important seat at the table in highlighting what makes us the heart of it all. We are going to be in the process of developing different passes for Ohio, an Ohio Arts Pass. Maybe it will be the Ohio Heart of It All or the little Buckeye Pass, wink, wink. But what we're hoping to do is to be able to pass something legislatively that would highlight what makes all of these attractions so special. I think about Ohio, we are the mother of presidents. We have the most astronauts that call Ohio home. We have birthplaces, a lot of history here. When you think about, Thomas Edison here in Ohio, there's so many really cool people that were born and raised here that contributed to America's history and invention and innovation. And so we're looking at developing those passes to hopefully put more revenue back into our tourism budget and economy. Some other really great things that we're working on also in the committee. The Brown Stadium was one that we discussed, and we're able to hear testimony about that plan. So that was really important for us that's a big investment Ohio is doing. That's going to be transformative for Northeast Ohio and really that front door for the Cleveland area. We also are hopefully going to be making an official fish for the state of Ohio, which is really fun. In fact, on Lake Erie, I think the number one economy driver is
the walleye capital of the
there
world.
You go, the walleye capital. So hopefully we're going to designate the walleye as the official fish for the state of Ohio. But we have a lot of items that are pending in our committee right now. But one of the items we were able to get passed on the House floor was House Resolution 101, which is supporting Cleveland, Ohio in the offer to host the 2030 Special Olympics USA Games. And I will tell you, now that we got that resolution passed, they made the announcement. So that those big games in 2030 are coming back to our incredible state. And what an awesome opportunity for people to continue to stick around and explore the surrounding region, come to Columbus, see what we have to offer. And I think that's a reason, too, we want to get those passes ready, celebrate our 250th birthday, capitalize on some of these opportunities that are coming to our state.
That's great to hear. I can't wait to.
So special. You know, the passes are such a great idea. And the fourth grade history pass that America 250 has out right now is being widely utilized. Fourth grade history in Ohio, or Ohio history is taught in the fourth grade in Ohio. And so students who are fourth graders can visit, I don't know, it's like 50 some historical sites with a paid adult. And so that's a really special thing. It's getting great traction. And so those passes are likely to be really popular. But we do a lot of trails at Tourism Ohio. So we like to help people see, you know, if you're interested in this particular site, there are a lot more like it. You know, I think about the variety of things there are to do here. Like if you love COSI, like you should take a day trip up to the Imagination Station in Toledo. It's great. If you like Hocking Hills, I mean, everyone's heard of Hocking Hills, but have you been to Nelson Kennedy Ledges State Park? It's incredibly beautiful. If you like the Columbus Symphony, the Cleveland Symphony Orchestra is one of the best in the world. And so helping people to see these connections is really, really important to getting them out and getting them to appreciate all that there is to see and do in our state.
That's good.
And I wanted to point out some numbers that we have as well. In 2024, we had over 240 million visitors to the state of Ohio and more than $57 billion in revenue. I mean, what does this relay to both of you? And talk about why it's important to continue to highlight and invest in things like that in tourism.
So it tells me, as Representative Miller said, tourism is a huge economic driver in Ohio. And so we really want to continue to make that impact. So for us, you know, we focus sort of, I call them my 3 E's. I used to teach elementary school, so I always have like a little device, but I call it the 3 E's. So we have to educate consumers first. People don't know all that there is to see and do in our state. And folks outside of Ohio, they don't think badly of us. They just don't think of us at all. And so educating them on all of the wonderful offerings in our state are really important. Second, we have to expose them to the message in multiple ways, multiple times. You know that seeing something once doesn't necessarily cause you to take action. So we have to get to them in different ways, different places with a message that is consistent. And then we have to make an emotional connection. That's my 3rd E, because it's so important. Ohio is the heart of it all. That heart that, you know, the feeling of being in one of our small towns or in one of our big cities, that heart is so important. And so our advertising really has to strike that chord to make sure we're connecting with folks.
Well said. I love that. That was good. I don't have anything to add. She hit it right on the head. And I could totally see you as an elementary school teacher. So fun.
I think both of you have a little bit of that and you just the warm,
We're going to take our message to the elementary schools.
Warm, lovely. Don't leave Ohio.
Start them young.
We love Ohio.
We'll be Ohio spokespeople, so people will start coming in.
I love this. I love this.
So fun.
That is wonderful.
Figured out.
I always just think about, right, I think we've been in the spotlight again because of the Taylor Travis engagement, right? And everyone, oh, are they going to move to Ohio? And I think that would be a fun
I sure
fun
hope
fact.
so.
I know.
Taylor
be
could
fun.
be our third
Yeah, I
Kirby
think
Hart.
Yes, there you
Like,
go. There you go.
I love
think
this.
another
Call us,
blonde.
Taylor.
There you go.
Call us,
Oh my
Taylor.
she would
goodness, there we
fit
go.
right in. Cincinnati's lovely, or Cleveland, or whatever. See, Columbus too. Come on down.
so good.
I know that we talked about this a little bit in the beginning, but I do want to ask again, what are some of your favorite? I think we talked more about this summer in specific. So now I want to go back to favorite tourism destinations. Any that you visited as a child or somewhere else in your district that you really love?
Well, I am going to have to highlight the place I live and call home now, Ashland, Ohio. Ashland, Ohio was just ranked one of the top 5 best hometowns in the state of Ohio,
wow.
and will be published in the Ohio Magazine, which is great. But also our little town in Ashland, where I live with my family, we are the only city to hold a Guinness Book of World Records. So we are the one city at Christmas time that we have the most metal illuminated structures.
Wow.
And so many
magical.
lights. It's magical. So
Magical.
if people want a magical experience during Christmas time, you definitely need to come to Ashland, Ohio, which is also known as the world headquarters of the nice people. So I would say that has definitely been a really fun thing, is just even in our own little hometown to see how special, certain holidays can be. I will also say, growing up for me, I've always been involved in the arts. And so I love going to the symphony. I played flute and piccolo. So recently I just went to the Cleveland Symphony Orchestra at Blossom and heard an incredible musician. And we have it's amazing, Ohio, how many local symphonies. We have a symphony orchestra in our community as well, which is really special. It's really a jewel. I know Lima, Ohio has a symphony, but even sports. I used to dance for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I have to be honest.
Oh,
I
my
love
goodness.
going to Cleveland's, Cavaliers.
I am so happy you said that. That's amazing.
We just need our pom-poms.
Yes.
I know every time I hear certain music, it just brings me right back to the dance floor and getting
amazing.
people pumped up. So, there's so many favorite memories that I have for different reasons. But you can really do it all. I really think Ohio, heart of it all, our slogan could not be more perfect for who we are.
Yeah. So I like the things that are sort of distinctive, like the wilds you could go on a safari in Ohio, and it has a huge conservation focus, which is so important. So I really love that. The Museum of the U.S. Air Force in Dayton is really an excellent facility, and it's free.
Wow.
And my son, who's 8, loves it. My father-in-law takes him, and he also loves it. So it has a really wide generational appeal. But I think my favorite thing is that I'm always out discovering my next favorite thing. And so, I think that that's really what makes Ohio so great.
I love that. Those were great.
What about you?
Yeah.
What is
I know
one
that-
of your favorite?
When you say Ashland, I think of the cheese barn. I
Yes,
love
definitely.
Grandpa's
Come have
cheese
cheese.
barn. Yeah, love.
Cheese barn, but
That's a staple.
Sweetie's Chocolates is really that.
That's it. Both of them.
Okay. Yeah, I've not tried that. I've just tried
Yes.
the cheese at the cheese barn. That is just such a hard.
The free samples
question.
are problematic, though.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Spend a lot of time.
My mom and I were driving back from Blossom to a concert, and we stopped at the cheese barn just because we had to, even if it was out of the way.
Thank you. Thank you for supporting local business.
I know, and I went to Findlay, so we would be in Ashland a lot. We would swim in Ashland,
Excellent.
little rivals, the Eagles. But yeah, that's a tough one. There's so many. Just Hocking Hills, we'd go to Slate Run a lot with my grandfather. Lots of hiking. I love the sports. So the Buckeyes, Ohio Stadium's just incredible. I think Glenn Powell said that it was the coolest stadium he'd been to, and you hear actors and famous people talk about it. It does. The heart of it all.
Yes.
It all comes back.
And you mentioned Slate Run and Hocking Hills, but Ohio is one of only 7 states that offers free admission to all of their state parks.
That's wonderful.
As Ohioans, we don't realize how special that is, but paying admission to a state park out of state is really wild to me. So that is something so special, and most Ohioans live within an hour's drive of a state park. Yeah. So that is a really special thing. Hocking is great, but there are 75 others that are also really wonderful. And I think that that's something really special about our state that people might not know is really special about our state if they're from here.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. I really am. And we have such a cool book that is always a favorite that hops off my table at our local fair is we have a state park map, like a pocket book, where it maps out all of our state parks.
So
and
neat.
people love that because, again, it's a day day, you can drive here, or if you love the parks, you can get your stamp. You can go and explore all of those. And what's really nice is, our state parks bring in a lot of tourism, because a lot of that you've got maybe connected to a lake, and so there's water activity. There's a resort where you can stay overnight and have delicious restaurants or little festivals that are connected. So we're very blessed to have our state parks that are free.
Absolutely. Last question I will ask you both. What's on the horizon? So, what are goals for moving forwards maybe in your committee this fall, or goals for the state tourism department? What can folks look forward to, or what's ahead?
I think we hit on a couple of those items. I think our priority right now is to get those passes developed so that they are ready in time for the 250th celebration. We got a lot of work ahead of us for that. Also, I think the other thing that my hope to do is to utilize this fall to do some on-site visits. So we are hoping to take our committee more on the road here this fall, now that we have finished the operating budget, to go and visit some of the museums, visit the zoos, visit some of these places that make Ohio special, to also be able to talk about the impact, the economic impact and tourism impact that these places have in different parts of our state. And what's really neat in our committee, we have people from all across the state serving. So everyone's excited to bring us to their part of the state to highlight what makes them special.
And I think it's unique and special about this leadership that they felt, the speaker felt it was important to develop a committee specifically for arts, athletics, and tourism. Yes. So very excited to see what you all do moving forward. Yes.
We are too. We're having a lot of fun.
Yes, I love it. Director, how about you?
Yeah, so in the short term, we have our fall content is launching now. We have a brand new corn maze trail. I think it's 46 corn mazes across the state, so that's going to be really fun for fall. Fall is great for agritourism, so we've got corn mazes, and you pick apple farms and pumpkin farms, and the spooky stuff is coming out. So all the fall content. We're also preparing now for holiday. We do a Christmas light trail, holiday light trail, which is wonderful and really drives visitation into a lot of our small communities, and really distinctive for Ohio. But, at a higher level, it's all about driving out of state overnight visitation. And so everything we do is focused on that, and we'll continue that work.
And you do a nice job getting those holiday guides out, too.
Thank you.
It's really nice. They do a wonderful job, the department.
I know. I can't wait to look for them. It'll only be I'm in my second full year back. So I have, building on that. Sounds like lots of big things happening and lots of big things to come. State Representative Melanie Miller and State Tourism Director Sarah Wickham, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
For joining me. I appreciate it. Really quickly, I want to talk about our social media. You can follow us on the Ohio House GOP Caucus on Facebook, Ohio House _GOP on Instagram, and OHR GOP Caucus on Twitter. You can subscribe on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thank you again, ladies.
Thank you.